Okay. Mm, so, hey guys, uh, welcome to my speaking practice for today. So in this video for today, I'm gonna practice with the speaking. For the stuff that Mr. Warner had given me actually last on the last on Monday. Yeah, on Monday. Because some problems that he said that he had a student to to help him with his homework or exercise. So I'm not gonna go. So I didn't go to his class this morning. And because of that, I don't have the new materials for my speaking process. So now I'm gonna use the old one that I've used for my stuff, which is the silent couple that I've have for a couple of days, and I don't think that okay. So that you know, and you know what? Actually, I really want to do that, but and I know why you I know what you want to say. But because I cannot get the materials from Meter Water, so from Meter Water, so I don't have the opportunity to practice new stuff. So I just just use the old stuff to practice, which is the silent couple. And for this stuff, I'm gonna put the pen inside my mouth, and I'm gonna speak it out loud. All right, it's gonna be good for me, right? Yeah, it's pretty good. But so it's gonna cost time, but anyway, it's gonna be good and better. All right, so let's do it. If I really want to be successful, do it now, bro. All right, so that paper is gonna be here. This one is the sun cover. There was once a young man who was said to be the most stubborn person in town, and a young woman who was said to be the most stubborn woman in town. And of course, they somehow managed to fall in love and get married. After the wedding ceremony, they had a big party in the house, which lasted all day. Eventually, all the friends and relatives could eat no more, and one by one, they all went home. The bride and groom collapsed from exhaustion. They both sat down onto a big cotton chairs and started to relax. When the husband noticed that the last guest to leave had not shut the door after him. "My dear," he said, "would you mind getting up and shutting the door? There's a draft coming in." "Why should I shut it?" yawned the wife. I've been on my feet all day, and I just sat down. You shut it." "So that's the way it's gonna be?" snapped the husband. "Just as soon as you get a ring on your finger, you turn into a lazy, good-for-nothing." "How dare you!" shouted the wife. "We haven't even been married a day, and already you calling me names and ordering me around. I should have known this is the kind of husband you would turn out to be." Na, grumbled the husband. Must I listen to your complaining forever, and must I always listen to the complaining and whining? Asked the wife. They sat glaring at each other for a full 5 minutes. Then an idea popped into the wife's head. My dear, the wife said, neither of us wants to shut the door, and both of us are tired of hearing the other's voice, so I propose a contest. The one who speaks first must get up and shut the door. It's the best idea I've heard all day, replied the husband. Let us begin now. So they made themselves comfortable each on a chair and sat face to face without saying a word. They had been that way for about 2 hours when a couple of trips with a cart passed by and saw the door open. They crept into the house, which seemed perfectly deserted, and began to steal everything they could lay their hands on. They took tables and chairs, put paintings of the world on the walls, and even loaded carpets. All through this talk, the husband and wife remained silent. I can't believe this, thought the husband. Doesn't everything be on? And she won't make a sound. Why doesn't he call for help? The wife suddenly asked herself. Is he just going to sit there while they still what do they want? Eventually the Sioux noticed the silent, motionless couple and mistaking them for wax figures, stripped them for their jewelry, watches, wallets, and cell phones, all during Uh, this talk. Uh, the husband and wife remained silent. I can't believe this, thought the husband. Doesn't everything be on and she won't make a sound? Why doesn't he call for help? The wife suddenly asked herself. Is he just going to sit there while they still wait for the want? Eventually the Sioux noticed the silent, motionless couple and mistaking them for wax figures, stripped them for their jewelry, watches, wallets, and cell phone. Oh, all in this talk, neither the husband or wife moved or made a sound. The Sioux hurried away with a look, and the silent couple sat through the night. At dawn, dawn, at, at, at dawn, at dawn, at dawn, at dawn, the policeman walked by the house and noticed the open door. He stuck his head into the open doorway and yelled, oi, 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 what's going on here? Is everything okay? But, of course, neither husband or wife made a sound. Now see here, yelled the policeman. I'm an officer of the law. Who are you? Is this your house? What happened to all the furniture? Expected no response from the sudden couple. The policeman raised his hand to box the man's ears. Don't you dare! Shriek, shrieked the wife, jumping to her feet. That's my new husband, and if you lay a finger on him, you'll have me to answer to. I won't, yelled the husband, clapping his hands and jumping about. Now, go shut the door. The Silent Couple. There was once a young man who was said to be the most stubborn person in town, and a young woman who was said to be the most stubborn woman in town. And of course, they somehow managed to fall in love and get married. After the wedding ceremony, they had a big party in the house, which last which lasted all day. Eventually, all the friends and relatives could eat no more, and one by one they all went home. The bride and groom collapsed from exhaustion, and they both sat down onto a big, comfortable chairs and started to relax. When the husband noticed that the last guest to leave had not shut the door after him, "My dear," he said, "would you mind getting up and shutting the door? There's a draft coming in." "Why should I shut it?" yawned the wife. "I've been on my feet all day, and it just sat down. You shut it." "So that's the way it's gonna be?" snapped the husband. "Just as soon as you wear the ring on your finger, you turn into a lazy, good-for-nothing?" "How dare you!" shouted the wife. "We haven't even been married a day, and already you calling me names and ordering me around. I should have known this is kind of husband you would turn out to be." Nah, nah, nah," grumbled the husband. "Must I listen to your complaining forever? And must I always listen to your complaining and whining?" asked the wife. They sat glaring at each other for a full 5 minutes. Then an idea popped into the wife's head. "My dear," the wife said, "neither of us wants to shut the door, and both of us are tired to hearing the other's voice. So I propose a contest. The one who speaks first must get up and shut the door." "It's the best idea I've heard all day," replied the husband. "Let us begin now." So they made themselves comfortable each on a chair and sat face to face without saying a word. They had been that way for about 2 hours when a couple of thieves with a cart passed by and saw the door open. They crept into the house, which seemed perfectly deserted, and began to steal everything they could lay their hands on. They took tables and chairs, pulled paintings off the walls, and even rolled up carpets. All through this talk, the husband and wife remained silent. "I can't believe this," thought the husband. "They've taken everything we own, and she won't make a sound. Why doesn't he call for help?" The wife silently asked herself. "Is he just going to sit there while they steal whatever they want?" Eventually the thieves noticed this silent, motionless couple and mistaking them for wax figures, stripped them of their jewelry, watches, wallets, and cell phones. All during this neither husband or wife moved or made a sound. The thieves hurried away with the loot, and the silent couple sat through the night. At dawn, the policeman at dawn, the policeman yawned. Dawn. At dawn. At dawn, a policeman walked by the house and noticed the open door. He stuck his head into the open doorway and yelled, "Oi, oi, oi, what's going on here? Is everything okay?" But, of course, neither husband or wife made a sound. "Now see here," yelled the policeman. "I'm an officer of the law. Who are you? It is your house. What happened to all your furniture?" And still getting no response from the silent couple, the policeman raised his hand to box the man's ears. "Don't you dare!" shrieked the wife, jumping to her feet. "That's my new husband, and if you lay a finger on him, you have me to answer to." "I won't!" yelled the husband, clapping his hands and jumping about. "Now go shut the door. Now go shut the door. Now go shut the door." Okay, so I have to put it back. Okay, so I'm done it, right? And now, you know what? I'm gonna go to YouTube. Sorry, you know what I mean, right? Yeah, I'm gonna go to YouTube. I'm gonna go here. Okay, I'm gonna click on my change this one to this one, and yeah, then I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go actually here. Then I'm gonna go here. It's gonna be 14, right? Yeah, it should be 14. Copy, create, upload full videos. Go here. It's gonna be 14. Next, publish. And I'm gonna just go out. I'm gonna go here. So the next one is gonna be 44. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. Just put it in here. 44. Next, publish. Good. Then it's gonna be 6, right? Yeah, it should be 6. I'm gonna go here. This one, and this one. Here. 6. Next, public. Then I just put it like that. Now I'm gonna just turn this off. I'm gonna turn it off here. Okay. So for now, I'm gonna maybe I'm gonna do this one again if I want to do that. Yeah, I think I should. I'm gonna do this one again. And I'm gonna have some talk about myself, and then about myself, and then I can end this meeting. Actually, the 30 minutes practice. Alright, so let's do it. The silent couple. There was once a young man who was said to be the most stubborn person in town, and a young woman who was said to be the most stubborn woman in town. And of course, they somehow managed to fall in love and get married. After the wedding ceremony, they had a big party in their house, which lasted all day. Eventually, all the friends and relatives could eat no more, and one by one, they all went home. The bride and groom collapsed from exhaustion, and they both sat down onto a big, comfortable chair and started to relax. When the husband noticed that the last guest left the door after him. "My dear," he said, "would you mind getting up and shutting the door? There's a rat coming in." "Why should I shut it?" yawned the wife. "I've been on my feet all day, and I just sat down. You shut it." "So that's the way it's gonna be?" snapped the husband. "Just as soon as you get a ring on your finger, you turn into a lazy, good-for-nothing?" "How dare you!" shouted the wife. "We haven't been married a day, and already you're calling me names and ordering me around. I should have known. This is the kind of husband you was now to be." "Nah, grumbled the husband. "Must I listen to the complaining forever? And must I always listen to the complaining and whining?" asked the wife. They sat glaring at each other for a full 5 minutes. Then an idea popped into the wife's head. "My dear," the wife said, "neither of us wants to shut the door, and both of us are tired of hearing the other's voice, so I propose a contest. The one who speaks first must get up and shut the door. It's the best idea I've thought all day, replied the husband. Let us begin now. Satan made himself comfortable with on a chair and sat face to face without saying a word. It had been that way for about 2 hours when a couple of ships with a cart passed by and saw the door open. They crept into the house, which seemed perfectly deserted, and began to steal everything they could lay their hands on. They took tables and chairs, pulled paintings on the walls, even ordered cabbage, all through the stock. The husband and wife remained silent. I can't believe this, thought the husband. You don't have everything we own, and she won't make a sound. Why doesn't he call for her? The wife suddenly asked herself, is he just going to sit there while they do whatever they want? Eventually the ships noticed the silent, motionless couple and mistaking them for white figures, shook them for their jewelry, watches, goblets, and cell phones. All doing this neither husband or wife moved or made a sound. The ships hurried away with the loot, and the silent couple sat through the night. At dawn, at dawn, at dawn, 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 yawn, yawn, yawn. Oh, I have to leave it off, right? Yawn, 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 yawn. Okay, so turn off. Uh, at dawn, at dawn, at dawn. A policeman walked by the house and noticed the open door. He stuck his head into the open doorway and yelled, "Oi, what's going on here? Is everything okay?" But of course, neither husband or wife made a sound. "Now see here," yelled the policeman. "I'm an officer of the law. Who are you? It is your house. What happened to all your furniture?" And still getting no response from the silent couple. The policeman raised his hand to box the man's ears. "Don't you dare!" Shirked the wife, jumping to her feet. "That's my new husband, and if you lay a finger on him, you have me to answer to." "I won't," yelled the husband, clapping his hands and turning about. "Now go shut the door." The silent couple. There was once a young man who was said to be the most stubborn person in town, and a young woman who was said to be the most stubborn woman in town. And of course, they somehow managed to fall in love and get married. After the wedding ceremony, they, they had a big party in the house, which lasted all day. Eventually, all the friends and relatives could eat no more, and one by one they all went home. The bride and groom collapsed from exhaustion, and they both sat down onto a big comfortable chairs and started to relax. When the husband noticed that his last guest to leave had not shut the door after him, "My dear," he said, "would you mind getting up and shutting the door? There's there's a draft coming in." "Why should I shut it?" yawned the wife. I've been on my feet all day, and I just sat down. You shouted. So that's so 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 that's the way it's gonna be. So that's the way so that's the way it's gonna be, snapped the husband. Just as soon as you get a ring on your finger, you turn into a lazy, good for nothing. How dare you, shouted the wife. We haven't even been married a day, and already you calling me names and ordering me around. I should have known this is the kind of husband we would turn out to be. Nah, 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 grumbled the husband. Must I listen to your complaining forever? And must I always listen to your complaining and whining? Asked the wife. They sat glaring at each other for a full 5 minutes. Then an idea popped into the wife's head. My dear, the wife said, neither of us want to shut the door, and both of us are tired of hearing the other's voice. So I propose a contest. The one who speaks first must get up and shut the door. It's the best idea I've heard all day, replied the husband. Let us begin now. So they made themselves comfortable, each on a chair, and sat face to face without saying a word. They had been that way for about 2 hours when a couple of thieves with a cart passed by and saw the door open. They crept into the house, which seemed perfectly deserted, and began to steal everything they could lay hands on. They took tables and chairs, pulled paintings off the walls, and even rolled up carpets. Onto this talk, the husband and wife remained silent. I can't believe this, thought the husband. They take everything we own, and she won't make a sound. Why doesn't he call for help? The wife silently asked herself. Is he just going to sit there while they steal whatever they want? Eventually, the troops noticed the silent, motionless couple and mistaking them for wax figures, stripped them for their jewelry, watches, wallets, and cell phones. All during this, neither husband or wife moved or made a sound. The thieves hurried away with the loot, and the silent couple sat through the night. At dawn, a policeman walked by the house and noticed the open door. He stuck his head into the open doorway and yelled, "Oi, oi, oi! What's going on here? Is everything okay?" But of course, neither husband or wife made a sound. "Now see here," yelled the policeman. "I'm an officer of the law. Who are you? It is your house. What happened to all your furniture?" And still getting no response from the silent couple, the policeman raised his hand to box the man's ears. "Don't you dare!" snorked the wife, jumping to her feet. "That's my new husband, and if you lay a finger on him, you have me to answer to." "I won't," yelled the husband, clapping his hands and jumping about. "Now go to the door." Alright, so after much of I'm done with it, right? So I have just 1 minute to talk whatever I want before I end this meeting. I want to move to the 20 minutes French speaking. Right, so I want to say that if you want to do something, so just do it. Never give up. Don't care about whatever they might say about you. Because you know what? They're not gonna live for your life. Like if when they say that you bad at here, you stupid, but it just at that time they tell you that. But what happened if you throw in? What happened if you listen to him and you make and then you become the perfect person in their eyes. In their eyes. So is that actually the thing that you really want to be? Become a perfect in someone else's eyes, and it's not for yourself. If you want to be successful, you have to live for yourself first. Actually, for that. All right. So bye guys. I hope you have a good day, and you can do these videos as a motivation for you to keep going, keep practicing your English until you be successful. Okay, so bye. Have a good day.